Hello, welcome back to the SourceFed podcast. My name is Tracy Tingles, and joining me today are two ASMR champions, if you will.
I will.
The first is Dylan Montgomery. He is a famous gag artist in the ASMR community. Welcome, Dylan.
Tracy, it's so good to be here, and I can't thank you enough for your endless kindness and having us on the show. I'd like to open up the show by giving you a little bit of my signature work, if that's all. If it's all the same to you.
Please, we would absolutely adore that. Wow, that was impressive, to say the least.
There's plenty more where that came from.
Excellent. We are so honored to have you here. And joining us as well is someone who's actually new to the ASMR community. This is Helen Kieran.
Oh, hello, Brie, and of course, Dylan. I'm just so excited to be here with you. You're just one of my heroes in ASMR, and I'm growing my brand right now. So thank you guys for helping me with my platform.
Absolutely. Now tell me, Helen, because you're new to this community.
Yes.
Has it been welcoming for you?
Well, I think that what people are drawn to about my specific style of ASMR
It's quite unusual.
I can't understand a word you're saying.
I think that people appreciate that I sound different, and I'm just trying to go with God's gifts.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Obviously not taking this as seriously as maybe
Well, she's new,
a
Dylan.
champion
I'm
would.
sorry.
You know.
Well, do we throw the new person in
Dylan,
the same ring with the champions?
Dylan, I'm such a big fan of your gagging, and people aren't people are not nice to me, but I think the ones that will stand by me are the ones that will just come to appreciate my specific sounding voice.
Your voice is very specific, very soothing.
Thank you.
I am experiencing some tingles on the back of my neck every time you speak, to be honest. But I guess I have to know, like, you tend to take things not so seriously. Like, you laugh a lot. Does that affect your listeners?
Is this a joke to you?
No, it's true that I just love to laugh, and I have a hard time because I know that you can't laugh and feel stress-free. And what I want to I'm so sorry. What I want to do is bring is just not have anybody have any stress, and I do think that is an obstacle I should get over eventually.
I feel like we've all gotten the feels of laughter.
I feel like she has so much spit in her mouth. And it's making me uncomfortable.
I can hear that as well. It's a classic newbie move.
Is there anything you could say to fix that?
I try to not have as much spit in my mouth, but it's not about the spit.
It's not?
No, I don't think that it's the spit in my mouth. Sorry,
It's not?
I think that it's joy.
Oh, it's joy that makes me not
It's the
understand
joy.
you.
Okay, yeah, it's the joy. I can't understand.
It's tough to understand her through the joy.
Dylan, I want to know about how you got started in gagging ASMR. It's such a beautiful art.
Thank you. I can't thank you enough for following my work. I really do appreciate it. And I just want to say, I do welcome you into the community, and it's lovely to have you. It's great to be in your presence as always. I was just a regular ASMR man, and I would do we would do all the classics, the rain, the digging through peanut M&Ms, a bag of peanut M&Ms. And then one day my mother, who I was living with at the time, brought in it was a giant garbage can filled with wet garbage.
Oh,
and
wow.
she said, get this out of my house, because it had been my job to clean out the garbage. I hadn't done it in weeks, and it smelled awful because I'd been eating nothing but Chinese food. I would alternate between Thai food and Chinese food, just back and forth, and the garbage was soaking wet, and it was about 3 weeks old by this point.
Oh, boy.
And it was too much.
Was the stink so bad that it made you gag?
I'm sorry, what is she... What is she saying now?
Dylan, was the stink so bad that it made you gag?
I guess that's the question I'd
Was
like
the
to know
stink
as well.
so bad?
Was
Were
the
there bees
stink-
around the garbage?
I don't think that's what she said. I think she said it's the stink
Stink.
so bad that it just made you gag.
It did. It did, and I still remember. They say that smell is the closest related sense to memory. Have you heard that?
Yes.
So now, even thinking about it now, I get a little bit of a gag reflex.
How has your gag changed over the years?
It's become more genuine. I think every time I do it,
interesting.
I want to throw up more every time I do it. And I'm going on 15 years.
Wow. And can I ask, Dylan, have you ever actually vomited? Like
Most
major-
times I edit those out.
Oh, wow. I never would have guessed that, ever.
Well, because I edit them. I feel like no one, throwing up, putting food from your stomach out into the world is such a violent, loud experience. But the gagging is such a soft, gentle approach.
Well, I
It's
also
so
imagine
human.
you want to leave something to the imagination, you know?
I'm sorry, I didn't get a word.
I think she said she wants to leave something to the imagination.
Sure,
if you,
sure.
If you show the throw up, then people would not be interested anymore, maybe, because they want to imagine the throw up. That's what I do.
Yeah. People come for the gags. They
Yeah.
leave after throw-ups.
Yeah. Although I could imagine the texture of the vomit could
Sure.
make for an interesting sound, maybe splashing through puddles.
Or connecting with maybe a tile or a linoleum.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I could hear that. I could just imagine the plopping of the vomit landing on the tile.
It's a wet splatter.
That
I
could
mean-
definitely cause some feels, some tingles. I can only imagine. Mhm.
I'm thinking about it right now, and maybe we could all collaborate on a project where maybe are you yawning? Was that a yawn?
Was
No,
that
I'm
excitement?
just
Oh, she's excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes people get very excited and they yawn.
The thing
So-
that newbies don't quite understand quite yet is to keep their level of excitement the same level as their voice.
Right. And there's a
know.
tact thing that's missing
I'm learning
Definitely.
from at least 1/3 of the guests.
Definitely.
I think I'm learning so much from you guys. I would love to do a collab. Dylan?
So what kind of things would you have an area of expertise? Or?
Yes. My favorite candy is Sour Patch Kids.
Okay.
I like to eat sour candy and describe the taste in my mouth. And also, you're right, spit. You salivate a lot more when you have Sour Patch Kids,
Yeah.
sour Starburst, sour Skittles.
I actually didn't know sour starbursts were a thing. Wow.
Is that
They
real?
are. They are. You can't find them in parts of California, though.
Are they illegal?
They have been outlawed not because of anything inside of it, but they were so, excuse me, they were so popular with the children that they started gambling for them and using them almost as if you would a drug.
Oh my
And so
goodness.
you can't find them now in parts of California.
I actually have a question for you, Alan. Are the sour orange starbursts as shit as the regular
Oh,
orange?
absolutely. I hate any kind of orange. You know what? That's why I think we get along so well and we can be such good friends is because we both hate orange.
Friends, okay. I wouldn't have gone that far, but
It's a bit of
absolutely.
a jump for the first
Yeah, it's a
episode.
bit of a jump. We've only met
We're gonna
once, and it was
collaborate.
today.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't wait to collaborate.
it's a big green room. It's a big comforting green room.
Would we be throwing up as well, or would you do your special?
That's not my bag.
treatment?
That's not really my bag.
It's not our specialty.
No, it's
You
not my
should know
specialty.
that coming
although
on the show.
Here's the thing. I think I can only assume if we're doing a collab, we would all kind of bring our own individual things to the table.
Yeah.
Dylan would be
Like,
gagging.
for example, I would be gagging. You, of course, would be describing what would happen. You, of
Mm-hmm.
course, would be stealing sour candy from
Eating
kids.
Sour candy.
Eating sour candy.
Eating sour candy, and it's a challenge for me to do because when I eat candy, I get very hyper from the sugar.
I can't imagine.
So it's hard for me to keep at the same relaxing voice that I use right now when I'm all hopped up on candy.
I noticed that your ASMR videos actually are they only last for about 5 minutes.
Oh, that's about as long as I can go without just jumping off the walls.
It's very interesting because, Dylan and I, we've been in this world for so long, this community, we kind of, our videos, they last for at least 2 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have watched us grow up because of it.
Definitely.
I put those videos on a playlist while I'm going to sleep because they're so soothing.
That would explain the
yours,
yawn from before.
Oh, it's so exciting for me. I'm yawning, but I'm also very sleepy. And
Tracy, you're on her
Tingles.
show.
It's okay. It's okay.
Tracy,
It's
I
come a long way.
put your playlist on when I go to sleep, and Dylan, I wake up in my morning. I put it on every day.
Oh, you have the morning meditation gag.
Yes, will you
Sure.
give our viewers an example of a morning meditation gag?
Sure. What I did with that one in particular, that one's only a couple minutes long, and I think it's actually it was a collaboration between me and an audio producer, and we were seamlessly melding the sounds of a rooster crowing in the morning, as you would hear maybe on a farm, a dairy farm,
Beautiful.
and the gags. So it would be like. Does this sound familiar
Yes,
to you?
it does. I know exactly what. Did you have a cat in one of them? A barn cat, maybe?
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to turn to you again because I have no
No.
idea what she's saying.
She was talking about a barn cat,
I
a
think
cat in a barn.
Okay.
But you know what really struck me from that particular set of videos was the midnight moo.
The midnight moo, of course. Of course.
Cow sounds. I mean, how do you even come?
Oh,
I mean,
well, it's...
I know you did those with your own voice. You didn't even use a real cow.
Well, I spent a year and a half on the farm just sleeping next to the cows, eating next to the cows, putting my entire mouth on an udder for breakfast.
True artist.
And
wow.
you don't hear a noise anymore. You feel a noise, as we all do in the ASMR community.
Oh, so true.
And so it's real, it's nasally. A lot of people do moo from the front of the mouth, moo. And that's actually completely incorrect. It's actually from the back of the nasal. And it's a combination of the sound really meets between the nasal and the stomach. So it's somewhere in the middle of the chest. And it's like that.
So authentic.
And then, of course, into the gag, it's like that.
it's brilliant that work. It's poetry in motion.
Midnight
Watching you
moo.
guys work, I just gotta
Truly.
say.
Well, I appreciate that. But Dylan, I just must compliment your work. Normally when I hear the sound of gagging, it makes me gag as well. But
Sure.
But when you do it, it's just so beautiful, so human. I never feel sick. I just feel tingles.
That's great. I mean, that's why it says on my my website, it says the goal is to never make other people sick. In big scrolling.
Well, you do just that, and we're all very happy to have you in our lives.
Happy to be here. I'm just happy to be in the community. Happy to be making hundreds of dollars at a time for this.
Now, this is a question for both of you. Did either one of you have or continue to have a day job in order to
of
support
course.
yourself?
Yeah,
Okay.
you literally cannot live off hundreds of dollars. So I have many other day jobs, many of which require me to speak in my regular talking voice, which I have refused to do time after time, which is why I lose up to 6 jobs a week
Wow.
by this point. Yeah, I'm really good at getting the jobs, but then I don't keep them.
Now, what was your favorite job that you couldn't keep?
I worked at a billiards house.
That's a very loud arena.
It is, but there was something about the balls smacking each other, the wooden balls coming off the cue and going into the pockets, hitting off the felt. Just very, there's something very harmonious about a pool billiards table.
Absolutely.
Did you ever try to work that into your ASMR?
I did. I tried to swallow a cue ball once.
How did that work out for you?
Not great.
You know, I actually have experienced that when I was younger. we had a pool table, and I often felt myself rubbing my fingers across the felt because it it was both electric and the sound was just so pure.
Electric pool table, you say?
It's the same sensation you get when you get a fresh pair of socks from the dryer.
Sure.
You shove them on your feet and you slide your little feetsies across the carpet.
Yeah,
Electric.
like a static.
I've actually never had it.
Here she goes again.
I've never had a job.
Oh.
I'm actually, I can feel like I can tell you guys this because you're my friends.
Of course.
And we're gonna
Sure.
and we're gonna collab.
Well, this is very
I'm
aggressive.
very rich.
Oh,
Family money.
I'm very inheritance. Yes, my parents were killed.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yes, it's okay. It happened when I was very young, and I'm very rich now. So it's pretty much just me. I live in an apartment, and I have a caretaker.
you're 37 years old.
Yes, it's true. It's not because I wouldn't say that I'm paying her to be my friend, but it's just nice to have someone tuck me in at night and cook me breakfast.
So what you're saying is this is your natural speaking voice. It's not your ASMR.
What is?
Just the way you're speaking right now.
The sounds.
This is all me. This is all 100%
Okay.
natural, baby.
Now you said you live in an apartment.
Yes.
Is it like just like a condo style apartment?
Like a one
Just a one
bedroom,
bedroom or what?
Something very small and modest.
I live in a penthouse.
Oh boy,
Now we're talking.
I'm very rich.
You did mention that.
you said it twice.
You
Well,
did?
I was hoping that it would make you guys like me more.
Well,
I was hoping that you'd want to be my friend if you found out I could afford to buy us all cheeseburgers after this.
well, I will say that does sound very nice. I will also say that my associate here is a vegetarian,
That
so
is true.
horrible research.
Well, I could make a vegan patty.
That sounds delightful.
Do you like Starburst?
In the vegan
Well,
patty.
they're not my favorite, but I won't turn away a red one.
Oh,
You know it's not a vegan patty if you just mash up a bunch of Starburst and throw it on a grill.
it's, there's also beans in it, which it provides protein.
Well, that
And-
sounds terrible.
Oh,
I don't know about that.
I'll be honest. You hurt my feelings pretty bad just now.
Well, I think
I'm so sorry. No, I just the idea of beans and Starburst mixed together does not sound appetizing.
and I also
Have you
think
ever
that
fucking
you
tried it?
well, first of all, I
can't say
think
that I have.
let's all watch our language. All of us. And I also think
try
that
not to
maybe
curse.
throwing out the fact that you have a lot of money in hopes that would get us to be friends is also kind of off-putting.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm nervous. I'm so sweaty right now. I'm around like two of my favorite damn heroes. There I go again.
Yeah. Maybe watch it with the D word.
Sorry.
Could we go back and bleep out the D word?
Listen, I understand, Helen. I get where you're coming from. I recently met a hero of mine, and I just was speechless, which is so unusual for me.
Who
you
was
know?
it? Was it Hillary Rodham Clinton?
No, it wasn't. It was one of our favorites in the ASMR community.
And so it must have been, let's say it together.
Tina, tell me.
Tina, tell me.
Yes,
of
it was
course.
Tina, tell me.
Yeah. And what was your afternoon like with Tina? Go ahead and tell me.
I will say that since I was speechless, it was very hard to get across the fact that I was a major fan, but she did.
I can
sit
only
down.
imagine how hard speaking is when you're completely speechless.
It's one of the most difficult things I've ever not done.
Sure.
Yeah. She's just, her voice.
She's so legendary.
Tina,
Just
tell
her
me, burned
voice.
me with a cigarette.
What?
Was this? I'm sorry, Tina.
Are you sure it
The
was Tina
legendary
Tell Me?
Tina
Because
Tell Me.
there's no way Tina Tell Me smokes cigarettes. Her
It's
voice.
her dirty secret.
Oh boy.
I was at the San Diego Comic Con, and I was at a party, and Tina, tell me. I was going to say, I love your work, Tina, tell me. And I bumped into her, and she burned me right on my leg with a cigarette.
Like on
Like on
purpose?
purpose.
Well, I said, ouch, you just burned me with a cigarette, Tina, tell me. And she said, you walked into it.
And you're 100% positive that she understood everything you were saying?
Well, she definitely understood that she just burned me. And she said, you walked into it. And I couldn't even be mad at her because she sounded so dang nice.
That's
They
the
say
thing
never
about
meet
Tina.
your
Tell me,
heroes.
never meet your heroes, but also the second she opens her mouth, tears, just tears
Yeah.
fall from your eyes.
I was
You can't
already
even help
crying
it.
'cause I was burned with a cigarette.
I do
That
feel,
makes sense.
I'm
So she
kind of
makes
starting to feel bad for her.
for Helen.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Is for people to feel bad for you. I feel like maybe your priorities are all...
Well, maybe I don't feel as bad as I did a second ago.
No, I mean, this show's going to be over and then our relationship will also be that.
What are you guys talking about?
Nothing.
Nothing,
You were saying, what did you do for Halloween?
For Halloween?
Mhm.
I handed out candy, of course, but not a lot of people come to my apartment complex.
It's so high up.
It's a penthouse.
Yeah.
So,
Do they even have access to that floor? Is what I want to know.
you know what? Now that I think about it, probably not. Anyways, I ate all the candy.
Yeah.
That's all I did.
All those Starbursts. You made some vegan patties, didn't you?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's more of a breakfast food.
Oh, ew.
That's super weird, but I guess that that describes you put out so much Halloween themed content this year because you must have been so hopped up on candy.
It's true, and I don't know if you guys. I don't assume that you follow my work at
I
all.
don't.
But,
I don't.
okay, but you knew I was putting out Halloween content, so
Yeah.
I decided to do more of a narrative where I was in a haunted house.
Sure.
And I get spooked, but it turns out that scary things are not very soothing for people.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
true, yeah.
You can't get spooked in a
No.
silent.
I mean, I've even been trying some zipper work recently, and that's just too divisive.
Sure.
I can't do it anymore.
Well,
It's a little too
Godspeed.
starting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to stop that.
So how did you get around the abrasiveness of being frightened, the
Yeah.
human
Well, I
emotion?
don't really have the follow. I don't have the following that you guys do. I just kind of put out whatever I can out there and hope that somebody latches onto it. And I put it out, and a couple of people said that they enjoyed it because I wrote a long story. It was one of the longest videos I've ever put out.
How long is long?
6 minutes.
Okay. How many minutes?
6.
All right, Dylan, she said 6.
It just sounded like somebody jumped into a pool and then you understood what she said
I definitely did.
somehow.
At this point, we're about 26 minutes in. I've gotten used to the sound of her voice. So
Oh,
this is the
interesting.
longest I think I've ever heard you
And
speak,
is it
period.
activating your
How am I-
sensors?
How am I
Not
doing?
even a little.
Hey, can I ask you guys? Do you think that I know that I'm just starting out, and you guys are really, really, really just my heroes.
Thank you. Yes, we are very well respected in the community.
Do
Yeah.
you
Thank you.
think that one day I could be as good at ASMR as you guys?
Well,
No.
Oh,
The answer to that is probably not.
that's like asking the guy who designed the Titanic if you could also be good at building a large ship.
well,
That's like asking if you could be like Mike. And by that I mean Michael Jordan.
Michael Johnson, the famous basketball.
I hate basketball. Do you guys think that I could be good at ASMR even? Like even just like good? Like have like a
Well, I think we'll both agree when we say that when you talk to a real ASMR person like us, okay, you could ask them, you could look in their eyes and ask them to describe their most memorable experience, their best video, their favorite video, and they can talk about it with such a fervor that you feel like you're actually there. And so we get so many people and so much fan traction just from talking about our videos. And then people, of course, who watch the public access show that we have, they'll go right to YouTube and they'll YouTube. Can you look into one of these cameras and describe the video that you're most passionate about that you've done recently for a waiting audience of literally 50 people?
yes. Yes, I could. Okay, so my favorite video I've ever done is I don't know if I told
And
you
just do
this,
it in the
but-
way where they'd be able to understand you.
Okay. So I volunteer at a pet shelter, and because I'm rich, so I can just volunteer.
She
Anywhere.
keeps saying it.
She keeps saying she's rich.
I volunteer at a pet shelter, and I just get so motivated by all the cats and kittens and puppies.
Splashing around in a pool, it sounds like.
So one day I made a video. I decided I'm passionate about all these little animal sounds, so I'm gonna make one. Also, not uninspired by your own Dylan, your barnyard noises. So
Midnight moo.
I was inspired by Midnight Mood, and I made.
It's moo. It's not moo.
It's midnight moo. We're talking about cows.
It's midnight
so it's
moo.
midnight moo.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Okay, if any of the audience is still here, please continue.
Thank you so much for your patience, by the way, audience.
I was so inspired by Midnight Moo that I made a video recording all the cats and dogs, but with the dangest thing happened.
Go on.
I'm sorry. Wait. I actually don't think I understood that. The dang?
Dang
I
this.
tried to not say damn because you guys got mad at me
Well, you
before.
could say darn.
She said the dankest thing happened.
The dangest thing happened, and all the puppies and kittens were totally silent when I was trying to make my video. So what I did was I made my video and I rattled all the cages.
Well, that doesn't seem like a...
And
Wow, that's very mean.
well, no, but it got everybody started barking and meowing,
Yeah, well,
and it was
that's...
just cacophony of beautiful sounds. And I've just never felt happier to be around so many living, breathing, beautiful creatures as when all those dogs were barking at
And
me.
you know what you did is you got them all worked up
You
right
riled 'em.
before they were about to get put down.
I
so
gave them a lot of Starburst. Don't worry.
What?
You can't give dogs
do
and
that.
cats
They love them. They love
candy.
dogs and cats. Love Starburst.
Well, they
dogs-
love any food you put in front of them, but I bet they had a lot of diarrhea that day.
They'll eat
Yeah,
their
but
own
it's
feces.
rainbow
I've seen it.
colored.
Wow.
It turns out it goes out the same way it comes in. They don't digest it. They just love it.
All right.
I feel like she turned these beautiful live creatures into Play-Doh factories.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm a little upset about it. As
You
a
guys should come
vegetarian,
visit me at my job sometime.
you're allowed. I'm sorry. You're allowed to own an animal.
No, at my job. At my job.
I heard visit your
No,
dog.
they won't let me take any of them home, but they'll let me come and visit them and take care of them and pet them. Because animals need love also. It's not just us.
All right.
I mean, it's a great point if you didn't already know that.
So Dylan, back to you for a second.
Thank God.
What's your video? What's your number one that you're most proud of?
Oh, I think being such a legend in the field, thank you.
Of course.
The thing about being when you're at a position that I'm at right now, you don't even need to describe your most popular video because you could have some of the people you look up, who look up to you do that for you. So I'm actually, and of course this is an old tradition in the ASMR world. I'll have you go ahead and explain
Your favorite?
my
video?
favorite.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I
You
think
know-
you knew this was coming.
Of course I did. And my favorite video that's also your favorite video?
Yeah.
One and the same. Is that time about 3 years ago when you drank 6 gallons of orange juice
Oh, of course.
and you gagged throughout the whole thing?
I did. Well, as you know, I have a extreme allergic reaction to orange juice.
Which was so unusual because you did share this bit of information with me that you didn't get sick for 3 years after. And I'm not talking about the gagging sick. I'm talking about there was so much vitamin C in that orange juice.
Right.
It just kept you healthy for 3 years.
Well, all the pulp was in.
Yeah.
You got to keep the pulp in to keep the vitamins in.
Mhm.
It's so
Vitamin
impressive
P.
that you didn't puke during the video.
Oh,
6
well, I did.
gallons.
I did many, many times.
You just edited
So
it.
much. I would edit those out. And then, of course, I didn't get the common cold like a regular human plebeian for 3 years.
Sure.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Sometimes somebody describes the symptoms of a cold, and I think that maybe I've never not had a cold.
You kind of constantly have a cold.
You sound like you do.
It sounds like you keep all your boogers in your mouth.
It's
Thank you.
it's a real challenge I have to overcome as an aspiring ASMR god.
Well,
we don't
I
refer to
think-
ourselves as
That's-
gods.
I don't think we do.
More like gurus.
Yeah.
I want to be a
Gurus.
god. I
Well-
want to never die.
Well, that's not possible.
I think maybe she has a very unrealistic kind of sense of how this life goes.
I
was
know you're
told if
rich,
you
Helen, but
if you
come
can
on.
believe in yourself, and also if you're rich, you can do whatever you want, and that's so far how I've lived my life.
It's not necessarily untrue is the problem, I think. And I think you're getting all this. You're on the fast track.
So what's wrong with it if it's not true?
I just want to go back to the orange juice video
Yeah.
for a second.
I could talk about that forever.
And I think it was real interesting. Maybe this is peeling back the onion a bit too much. But I do have a severe allergic reaction to orange juice. And so it was hard during the second hour of that video to gargle while having severe hives break out throughout my throat and mouth.
I think that's why that's everybody's favorite video of yours. You
Suffer
powered
for the
through-
art.
You suffer for your art, and it is very apparent,
Thank
and
you.
it is quite magical.
How
What
have
do
you
you say so?
suffered for your art?
Well, if you'll allow me,
Absolutely, Dylan.
I'd
It's your
love
turn.
to speak about your favorite video that you have personally.
Thank you so much.
And I think it was early on in your career. Like some people start, and if you could see the video aspect of our podcast now, I'm doing something for the video, the video now. Some people start out and they're not that good, and they kind of have no career trajectory. And you could just tell right away that maybe they're not going to be as good as some of the legendary people.
Why are you pointing at me?
Well, I'm just trying to illustrate a point with my hands.
I don't understand.
I think early on in your career, when I knew that you were going to be a starlet in the ASMR world, you made a 3 gallons of chunky brownie mix. Do you remember this?
Don't I? Do
Oh.
I?
Well, which one is it?
I do.
Good. Of course you do. It's your favorite. And I remember you started with your hands. You started because I believe you were trying to make a cooking video, but your apparatus wasn't working. What do they call
I always
it?
find a whisk.
A whisk. You had no whisk?
I always find that hands are better for everything
Sure.
than tools.
Yeah, you've
Hands are
always said that.
tools.
You have that bumper sticker on your car that says hands are better than tools.
It says hands are nature's tools.
Sure, I remember. And you
Yeah.
started, I remember you were also, and please correct me if I'm wrong, going through a breakup that week.
Absolutely.
And
No,
so
you're
you
right.
started beating the living hell out of the batter, the brownie batter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of had somewhat of a nervous breakdown around the 3rd, 4th hour. And you poured all the batter over your head, and then you were wiping it out of your eyes and into your mouth. So close to the microphone. Ruined so much equipment.
I did. And even though that is my favorite video that I've done,
Yeah.
I got a lot of backlash from that. People said it was a little racist.
Okay. And why? Because to me, it was just brownie mix.
I know, but
Oh, now I'm
You
getting
know,
the visual now.
do you understand?
Yeah, and plus you are a little bit racist. So that did.
That,
I think that
I've
does come
I've changed
across.
a lot. I've changed a lot over the years.
You're way different now.
I have woken up. Some would even call me woke.
You are awoke.
I have a question for
Yes.
And she's still here.
for
Go
you
on.
guys. How do you top yourselves? Like, how do you top the brownie batter video? Of course, we all remember that. And the orange juice videos. Don't you guys ever feel like you've hit a creative plateau? Do you ever feel like you just gotta keep going up? How do you top it?
I think a lot of it's the element of surprise.
Absolutely, yeah.
Make these ASMR videos, have these ASMR experiences from places, gather inspiration, gather materials from places you never would have dreamed before. Do you think 3 months ago when I went to that mall, I knew I'd be making a tongue meets escalator video? I didn't know
You
that
can't
was going to
plan for
happen at the
that,
end of the day.
ever. You don't plan.
I was
It
at a
just
Target.
happens.
You were
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
I was at a Target. I was looking for vintage wrestling figures in a Target. And
I don't know why you went to Target. I don't know.
They only have
I don't
new
think they ever
things.
have that there. They don't have anything vintage there.
I was told somebody stashed some old wrestling figures in a Target behind the new ones.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was like geocaching.
It was a geocache
Sure.
situation. One of your recent videos, all about the element of surprise. You were completely blindfolded, feeling your way around that petting zoo,
Yeah.
and you can't plan something like that.
No, it's like when you were on that escalator
Yeah,
and you saw that somebody had spilled yogurt.
lucky.
On
It
the
was my
handrail.
luckiest day.
Do you feel like anytime you're about to be sick, you have to start recording?
Yep.
Oh my!
I'm sorry.
It's strangely sensual.
It's not supposed to be. I'm sorry. What was your question?
When you feel disgusted, you take out your recorder and just go in immediately, or do you ever think after you get sick, I should have recorded that?
There are some times where I'll get sick just because nature says, time to get sick. It's time for the flu. You know, maybe I didn't get my flu shot that year or any year because I've never believed in them.
Well, that's just stupid.
Thank you.
Are you an anti-vaxxer?
Well, see, I don't want to get into it, but for one of my most recent videos, probably one that's in the playlist, it's playing in your home right now. I was an anti-vaxxer for a long time.
Well, let's not get political here. We don't like to get political on this
I was just gonna say, and then
tingle tantrums.
I've recently changed my views, and I broke into a hospital and I drank a bunch of vaccines, and
Wow.
there were, as luck would have it, you're not supposed to drink them, and there was a lot of that happened.
Does it even get absorbed into your bloodstream, or
It
just
does
goes right
not.
out of you?
It does not. You throw it up immediately, which made for a great video, but horrible for my immune system and my future.
Interesting that you would drink it and not inject it in yourself
I'm
to
afraid
not
of
get
needles.
sick. Oh, okay.
I think that made great content, though, and
Thank
that's
you.
what's important here.
Thank you.
Now I have a different question for both of you.
Sure.
Have either one of you been asked to do pornography?
Yes, every day.
Every day?
Really?
Every day.
Wow.
How do these conversations start? Who has
Yeah,
these
yeah.
conversations with you?
Well, oh, wait. I'm sorry. Did you ask if I ask people?
No, I believe the
No.
question was, are you asked to do pornography?
Never. No.
So-
So wait. So you asked?
Having a different experience now.
I just
Who
like
do you
to
ask to do porn?
almost just anybody I think that who might be down. And I
Oh,
don't-
with
I don't-
you.
No.
So
Okay.
you just ask people who look like they might be down if they want to make porn with somebody else eventually.
Yes.
Open-ended, weird line of questioning.
Well, I have never gotten a yes, but I think that it actually is a really interesting question for somebody's psyche because they are forced to confront a stranger about their sexuality.
Sure.
And I like to put people in situations like that. I don't know why.
Uncomfortable situations. Makes me do that a little bit.
Sounds like you should maybe go to therapy. Just maybe.
Dylan, have you ever been asked to do porn?
I myself have never been asked to do porn
Would you
recently.
ever do porn?
Yes.
But you're my first yes.
Well, let's lower the volume, and thank you. I actually we were just talking about this before the red light came on. I actually got into ASMR because I love phone sex, and I had an obsession with phone sex, but I hate when people say anything sexual. So that was my first intro into the ASMR.
Anything
I
sexual?
remember that. It was all innuendo,
Yeah.
which I think is actually more brilliant than regular phone sex.
Some people can do it, but even the innuendo sometimes, if I'm thinking too sexually, it'll give off kind of a reaction in my stomach, and I actually feel like being sick. I feel like throwing up
Like,
Of
there
course.
shouldn't
if somebody's
you
too
do that
sexual.
If you want to listen, if you want to make your own ASMR gagging video, shouldn't you listen to people saying breasts?
What? Even I missed that one.
You could listen to something sexual,
Yeah.
and it would make you do the gag thing, and then you could do it. You could.
Like a self-induced.
Yeah. It's never self-induced. You'll ever listen to a podcast of people saying, boobs and breasts. And
I'm sorry.
cocks.
What? Okay.
I was not expecting us to go there. What I meant by my initial question was, what we do is so unique, especially in the fetish industry. And
Yeah.
I just wonder if you'd ever been propositioned. It is a great way to make money, especially in this industry, as you know, Dylan. And it's difficult to make money. It's difficult to keep jobs.
It is. You'd be amazed how many people aren't interested in hearing somebody gag
Oh,
That's true.
at
I
all.
can't even imagine that.
Well, not in this room, maybe, because
No,
we're
we're
like-minded.
professional.
Yeah.
You must have been. What did you say?
It's so funny because all the times I've been propositioned, they say that they want me to keep my mouth shut, though.
Interesting.
And so that's why I've had to decline, because
Why
that's
would you
not
ask
what I
an
do.
ASMR
That's what I'm saying.
goddess,
No sense.
an ASMR
Thank you.
starlet,
God,
to keep their mouth
You know what?
shut?
It's so unusual. They say, "I love your face," but
Interesting.
every single one of them.
Are they familiar with your work by this point?
That's I assume that's how they found me,
what is your
but I don't know. A lot of the comments on our videos, it's I like looking at you, but I don't like hearing you, and I just find that so funny because
Interesting.
that's the complete opposite
You know
of
what
what we do.
That's
That
your
makes me
art.
pretty upset, pretty emotionally upset.
Imagine how it is for me.
I can't imagine, because I'm not you. Let me try
You'll
to
never
be.
know. Why don't you just try to put yourself in my shoes, in my beautiful boots for a second?
You know what? I did it and I didn't like it.
I understand.
But I think I'd still say yes to porn once in a while because it's a pretty good paycheck.
It's such a good paycheck.
Are you saying that you've said yes in the past?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you could tell the viewers to go look up?
Well, it's not something I want to promote per se. I just was curious.
Well, now's as good a time as ever. Go ahead and give them a link.
Hey, how do you guys deal with being approached by fans? Do you ever get a creepy experience, or has everybody just been cool? Well, I know that you guys are regulars at the ASMR conventions.
Yeah.
You're on the circuit, as we say.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever have any experiences? Any advice for me for when I have fans?
There was one a young lady who came up to me once. And of course, when you've been doing it for as long as I have, we have crazy fans every once in a while.
Yes, we do.
Love them all, but some of them are a little off their John Rocker.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember this one lass. She had a very elaborate lipstick, and it didn't look unlike the microphone pattern that we're speaking into now.
Interesting.
That sounds like it would look nice.
And let me finish. And definitely let me finish. And she came right up to me. And she said, "Do you like my lipstick?" I said, "Yes," in my famous voice. And then she came very close. Our noses were almost touching. And she opened her mouth. And she said, "Speak into my mouth like it's a microphone."
Oh, my.
Yeah, and she had me do my whole routine into her mouth as if we were recording.
I'll be honest.
As if
that
you were a
sounds
little
sexy.
trick monkey.
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow.
I think that sounds personally pretty erotic.
Pretty what?
Erotic. Is that,
Okay.
is that why it was too sexual for you, and it made you?
It was.
Did you throw up in her mouth?
Not on purpose.
One never does.
Thank you.
That sounds like when a fan came up to me because she had seen and played hundreds of times my video where I use my fingers to brush my hair.
Mm.
And she asked me to brush her hair with my fingers. And I did.
That was me.
Was that you?
I think
That was
me.
many, many years
That
ago.
was like,
She
yeah,
sounds like
7
she
or
would
8
do that.
years ago.
Well, I've done it to several fans.
Oh, it was great. Actually, that was the day that I decided to do ASMR because I hope to also run my fingers through somebody's hair someday.
You know, it's so funny that we brought this up because that's actually what I had to do in that porn.
Oh. Well, it feels like a bunch of worlds are colliding.
You know what? If
Around
you want to
nowish.
see, if you want to see the porn, you can go. You can go to snailtrail.org.
Snailtrail.org. You've heard it here probably first.
Type in Tracy Tingles, and you'll find it.
Was that a search bar keyword situation?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look right now. I misplaced my phone, but I want to look.
Well, thank God you
Just
misplaced it.
bookmark it, but
You're-
we're not quite finished with the
You're a guest on a show still.
tingle tantrums. Almost over. So
Remember when our show used to be called Tingle Tantrum? When we used to get mad about how we used to pee a little bit.
all right, that's funny. I didn't say tinkle tantrum. I said tingles.
I've been doing stand-up comedy on the weekends with my ASMR voice.
Well, don't quit your ASMR job.
Well,
Remember what I said earlier? People don't like to feel relaxed when they laugh.
That's
They
true.
they feel tense and scared when they laugh.
See, I don't think that's true necessarily, but I'll
I think it's
pick up whatever you're.
100% true.
All right, I'll pick up what you're putting
100%.
down.
Do you think we could also laugh but stay in the same realm as ASMR? I think it's a different register.
I think
For
he
example,
can do it.
It wouldn't be genuine. That's
please
for
tell
sure.
please tell me a joke, and I'll do my best.
All right.
Mm.
Oh gosh, I just realized I don't think I have a sense of humor.
Oh, well, that's one of the saddest things I've ever heard.
No, that's a good thing. That's why you sound so relaxed all the time.
Oh, all right.
Do you
I
have
have
a
it.
joke?
I do have
Oh,
a joke.
okay,
You know what?
have
I have a joke.
Here we
all right.
are. Here we are.
Did you hear the one about the airplane?
No, I didn't, but I'm excited to.
I'd tell you, but it's way over your head.
Oh, okay.
So
Could we adjust the levels? Either somebody is spitting into the microphone or there's a rogue sprinkler system that's spouted up in the studio somehow.
That was such a good joke. I couldn't contain myself.
well, thank you. I have another one if you want to.
Is that what laughing is? Is it going to make that happen again? Because I don't want that to ever
Let's
happen
find
again.
out. This one's not as good. Do you want to hear it?
Yes, please.
Did you hear the one about the butter?
Is it like the airplane one?
I'd tell you, but I'm afraid you'd spread it.
Well, again, is our sound guy in the shower? I think we're getting a feed from the shower.
Thank you so much, Helen.
You are so funny.
Was that
Am I?
her?
You are so
Was that funny?
Yes.
It didn't feel funny. I don't think I'm a very funny person.
Well, I think that the key to doing a good joke is not thinking you're funny. Because if you laugh at your own jokes, then you're not funny. That's my problem.
I heard
Interesting. I don't know if I've ever laughed in my life.
there's a young man who does stand-up comedy around the Los Angeles area called Mike Falzone, and all he does is he's up there laughing at his own jokes, and it really deters from the
that
performance.
is quite a turn off.
I went to one of his shows and I asked him if he would ever be in a porn. And he had me escorted out.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't like that guy.
Well, he kind of looks like a new homeless person. What was the
Like a
theme
new,
of
like
your
a
porn?
newly homeless person.
Yeah, like a
or
brand new
Like a.
homeless person. Did
Okay.
something fall? Did something fall in the background? Interesting. I think I just got some.
Maybe it was just the energy that fell.
It does seem like the energy has fallen, but that did give me inspiration for a brand new ASMR video.
Oh wow.
I think it's called "I React to Things Falling."
Riveting.
Let me, maybe if you'll allow me, is this an experimental?
Yes.
This is a
Please.
safe space to
Do you
experiment.
want me
Always.
to drop this?
Oh, well, that
Well, not
seems,
quite yet.
it seems
Not quite
heavy,
yet.
but
It is.
I mean, maybe we should give it a shot. She did say she wanted to collaborate.
All right.
I'm so
I'm
excited.
a little nervous. It's gonna blow out the sound.
It's gonna blow out the sound. It's
gonna
very
blow out the
loud.
sound.
All
It just
right.
looks heavy and loud.
All right,
So
go
you
ahead.
go ahead and drop it, and I'll react with my voice.
Okay, I'm gonna not do it so you can react appropriately whenever I do it.
Oh God, that was quite unpleasant.
I don't know that my initial reaction was appropriate.
Dylan? Were you gonna do one?
Dylan, you did a swear.
Thank you. Maybe we could edit that out.
You said the fuck word.
I did. I said trucks. That sounded like there was a truck passing as well at the same time.
I'm actually okay with curse words. It's just you made it seem like you were uncomfortable. I don't want any of my guests to be uncomfortable ever, so we will edit these out.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe instead we can edit in this reaction. Oh. In lieu of the fuck word.
Maybe instead we can just edit out everything that just happened because that sound really hurt a lot.
Are you okay?
I'm very sensitive.
Her eyes crossed when you dropped it.
I noticed.
They did.
I noticed that. Does that happen every time you become afraid?
Now that you mention it, yeah, I think it does.
That's an awful character trait.
Well, I can't help it, Helen. So
Do you think maybe we should wrap up the show?
absolutely, I just have a couple of reviews that I have
I
to
can't.
read
This is
from
my
our
favorite part.
fans.
You know it's my favorite part.
Oh,
Okay.
Can we all do one?
Well, there's only two, so I think I'm going to save it for
Please
me and
let
Dylan.
let the sprinkler system have one.
Oh, all right. Well, there's a short one here, so she'll read the short one next.
Very
okay?
short.
Okay.
Maybe do these ones have the star ratings next to them?
Yes, they do.
Maybe she can read the star ratings.
Okay. It's the title of this one's negative review. Will you just take a look and read how many stars there are on top?
She's counting.
There's 5 stars. Just say 5 stars.
5 stars.
Thank you.
Okay,
Almost.
great. Excellent. This one comes from Caravan Boy. You guys are great. The crazy talk and non-sequential conversation is bitchin'. That's how real people talk. Every one of you is gracious. I enjoy listening / watching you. When I'm driving miles and miles, you guys keep me entertained. I look forward to the SourceFed podcast every week. Love all the new hosts. Change is good. Keep it up, guys. Y'all are doing a great job. Septic is super cute. Well, thank you so much, Caravan Boy.
Subject is my favorite YouTuber.
Now, I'm going to let Dylan read this, but I would like you to say how many stars this next one has.
And what's the
Helen.
title of this one?
This one is called It's Pretty Good Ole by Ginger Jew.
She gave it her best shot.
How many stars?
It's got 5 stars.
All right, I'm going to have Dylan read this one.
Yeah, please take the paper
All
away
right,
from her.
come on. Helen, come on. You just
No,
read.
she's
Okay, all right, Dylan, come on.
Not rich enough to read the reviews, are we?
Ooh.
And we're not. It's pretty good. Oh. 5 stars. By Ginger Jew. November 3rd, 2016.
Dylan, are you okay?
Sometimes when I read these reviews, I get really emotional because these
course.
people are giving of themselves unto us.
Of course. Mm-hmm. Please continue.
Thank you. I'm a big old fan. Pardon me. I've had a rough day. I'm a big old fan of every episode of this podcast. Keep doing what you're doing. I really want to nail that last part, so excuse me. Keep doing what you're doing. Was this review helpful? And there's an option for yes.
Well, thank God for editing software,
There's
right,
an
guys?
option for no. There's an option for report a concern. And I'd like to report one concern.
Sure.
And she's sitting to my far left.
All right. Well,
Are you concerned
aware.
that I have
All right,
more
we're
money
aware.
than you?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's one.
thank you so much for tuning in to Tingle Tantrums and the SourceFed podcast. Thank you so much for having us on today. My name is Tracy Tingles. You can, of course, find me on YouTube.
Yes.
And joining me today was Dylan Montgomery,
Dylan Montgomery the first.
the first.
I suppose you don't have to say the first.
I'm Helen Kieran.
My name is Helen Kieran. You can find me at youtube.com/Helen Kieran. And I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you. I think that you guys are my heroes. And even though you're both very, very, very mean to me, I just like you and I wanted to be your friend.
Sure.
All
Well,
right,
it
well,
sounds
I
like
wouldn't call it mean. I would
sounds like a
just-
toilet's flushing.
That's an accurate description of what just happened. If you would like to rate and review this podcast, please go to iTunes and give us a 5 stars, and also leave a comment. Any criticism, constructive, non-constructive,
It's
will be
welcome.
heard and is welcome. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe and have a
And
beautiful...
What? Comment.
Please
and,
don't. All right, well, you don't have to interrupt.
boy.
It's called a call to action.
Yep, that's what I'm trying to finish this call to action.
It's almost like somebody flicked a lighter underneath a motel sprinkler system,
Uh-huh.
and it's going off in all the rooms, and it's ruining everything you have.
Thank
I'm
you
starting
guys
to hear
for
it.
watching. Tink, tink.
All right, well, that's my line. I'm
It's
just
not
going to say
ting-tang.
it's not ting-ting. Okay. Thank you so much for listening, you beautiful, beautiful ASMR BBs. Have a beautiful day.
She does the ending.
You don't have to
sorry,
repeat. Helen, you don't have to repeat everything I'm saying.
I'm just trying to learn.
All right.
Sometimes we need to learn to be quiet.
Have a great day, Tinglers.
Thank you.
Stay well.
Goodbye.
Bye, beauties.
Bye, beauties.
All right.
Bye.
All right, shut the fuck. All right, I'm going to need you to shut the fuck up.
Somebody press stop back there.
Somebody, please stop. Please stop. Just get off of my set.
I'd do my own if I lived to be 90, so I'm 90 years of age and it's already done, he said.
Wait, this dude's 89.
Close enough.
No, not close enough.
Gross, so gross. And also, it was a lot to have in our mouths, so we were talking, doing the news like.